Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Kutztown ice hockey against the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. You're watching Kutztown Hockey only on Nick's Hockey Broadcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Martiri Family Arena here in Fairfield, Connecticut, where tonight the Kutztown Golden Bears will play the Sacred Heart Pioneers for the second and final time this season. Hello, everybody. My name is Nicholas Garfol, proud voice of the Kutztown Golden Bears. Glad to be back going live for Games for Kutztown. I apologize to the fans and the players not for going live soon. I've been recording my games throughout the year just because there's been rinks. We've been having games yet this year, such as power play rinks and body zone, where the video might not look too good, and I wanted to make sure the game highlights look good at the end of the day and the broadcast itself, because after all, if you're watching the game, even though you can hear my announcing and the video doesn't look good, that kind of ruins the purpose of it. Although, admittedly, I think it could have been going live a little bit more, but hey, I'm live tonight. I know here, Martiri Family Arena has good Wi-Fi, because I was here when Kutztown played the Pioneers last season. Kutztown entering this game a record of 5-15-1. They are on a bad pace right now. A 6-game losing streak is their longest losing streak in at least over 5 years. The Pioneers are a record of 7-5-2. Kutztown only had one game last weekend. They were supposed to have 2 games against the Delaware Blue Hens. They only had one because the other, which was supposed to take place at Delaware, was called off due to the pending snowstorm we all dealt with last week. But in the game Kutztown did play, they lost to the Blue Hens 5-1 in a game where, I mean, they never really even had the election. Actually, what I'm trying to say is they never had the lead. I was about to say they never really had the lead. They never had the lead at all. They were down 3-0 to start the second period. Eventually, they got a goal from Gavin Molikoff to give them life, but they lost the final score of 5-1. The final goal being an empty netter. I'll talk more in depth about that game a little bit later. Inactives for tonight's games. I was not able to get the inactive list for the Sacred Heart Pioneers, but I did get some inactives for the Kutztown Golden Bears. Number 73, Evan Curtis, who is a scratch. Number 13, Griffin Carpenter, who is actually out tonight due to a suspension after he got in a fight with Delaware defenseman Scribner last game. So he's suspended for 1 game. He will play tomorrow for Kutztown when the Golden Bears take on the Fordham Rams. And also inactive for the Golden Bears will be number 24, Jackson Foster. He suffered a concussion during last week's game against Delaware, so he is out this weekend. He is here to watch his team play on. He's also the VP of the Golden Bears hockey team. Also want to give a quick shout out for family members of Kutztown defenseman Antonio Anella, family members in LA, Angelo Anella, and Uncle Anthony. I heard you guys are watching this game tonight. I hope you enjoy all the way in Los Angeles. Definitely one of the further distances of fans I've heard watch Nick's Hockey Broadcast over the years. So thank you for joining tonight's game. Time for tonight's starting goaltenders as warm-ups have just concluded. In net for the Sacred Heart Pioneers will be number 35, Luke Tannenbaum. 0-3, goals against average 6.80, save percentage of .847. So he's looking to get his first win of the season. In net for the Kutztown Golden Bears is senior number 34, Jay Janney. 4-6-0. Goals against average 5.50. Save percentage of .880. We're about to have the national anthem. I'm going to turn off the mic just for a quick second here. I'll turn it back on as the game starts. Well, actually, no. You know what? I might as well keep it on as we'll have the national anthem. We'll just get right into it. So I'll keep the microphone on. I'm going to be silent just for a minute here. And I'll be back for the first period.
It's time to meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the Golden Bears. At left wing, number 45, Chase Nestra. At center, number 10, Gavin Molikoff. At right wing, number 7, Nick Leone. At left defense, number 20, Billy Slavinsky. At right defense, number 29, Liam O'Neill. And goal, number 34, Jay Janney. For the Pioneers! Jack Kinahan. At left defense, number 17, Luke Body. At right defense, number 15, Andrew Smith. And in goal, number 35, Luke Hanball. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you to please rise from your backs as we honor the United States of America with the pledge of our national anthem.
First period between the Golden Bears and Pioneers is about to get underway. A late game for Kutztown starting at 9:15, traveling over 150 miles and waiting on the bus for a little more than 3.5 hours to get here in Martiri Family Arena. Luckily, Kutztown didn't deal with much traffic because when we came here last year, it took about 5 hours or a little less than 5 hours to get here due to a lot of traffic in the state of Connecticut. But no such bad luck this time as we got here at good time. Tenderbaum on the left in net for Sacred Heart. Janney will be on the right. Serving in goal for Kutztown. First line out for the Golden Bears. Slotwinski, Molikoff, Leon, Canestra, and Liam O'Neill. Martiri Family Arena, 3 years of age, can hold up to 3,600 people. We don't have that many people in here tonight, and it cost $75 million to build. A lot of the freshmen are really excited to get the chance to play in this rink, and now they will. Molikoff for the draw, and we are underway. It's the Golden Bears and the Pioneers here in a late Friday night game here in the ACHA/AAU. Smith on the wing. That shot saved there by J. Janney. I beg my pardon. That was Murphy with the shot on goal. First chance on that for either team. Ringing around the boards. Leon chops at it. And O'Neill will get it free here on the corner. This is the second time the Golden Bears have played in this stadium. They played here back in November, actually I should say October of 2024. They lost that game 3-1. That puck goes out of play for our first whistle of the game. And you might have noticed during the national anthem that they have a giant jumbotron here too as well. National anthem. Josh Powell will go for the draw here. It's one cleanly defense sweep by Ryan Van Zyl, I beg my pardon, as Powers' shot, or as his pass in front was deflected en route, and the Pioneers move back on the wing and shot back into the zone there by Mabib. Off the boards, backhanded to the corner, flipped off the glass there by Edward Jackson. Right side is shoveled there by Carter Ritz. Towards the right boards is Dan, and he gets somewhat clobbled there by two Pioneers on their own bench. You might notice the benches are a little different here in Fairfield, Connecticut, as the Pioneers are on that side. The Golden Bears are just below us on the other side. It's not a traditional rink where you have both teams on the same side of the benches. But in a way, it's kind of cool that we get to see the Golden Bears bench in front of us. Other strange thing is that, so the Pioneers have a goal horn. If they score tonight, you'll get to hear it because it's pointed directly on this side of the rink where I just so happen to be set up here. I think they did that intentionally so the horn blasts into the ears of the opposing teams that come here, and in my case, the opposing broadcasters. So you'll hear that horn pretty clearly if the Pioneers score. 18 minutes to go in the first period. No score. Shots in net, 1-0 Pioneers. Isak, a one ahead to the former puck with Trojan McGinty to the trailer. Isak, that shot missed it wide. Chance on net there, and covering it on the left side there is Tannenbaum. Connor McGinty had several good chances last game against the Blue Hens. He's still trying to get his first goal in college hockey. He does have 1 assist on the year, so he at least does have a point. His only assist was against Farmingdale back on February 7th. Speaking of McGinty, he stays on the ice for the shift. This is shoveled back to the right side. That shot goes wide there from Koenig. Center it back in toward the slot, trying to go around a few defenders there was Walsh. Set up back on the right point. That shot goes wide there from Koenig. You're going to hear that name twice, Koenig. Number 8, Braden Koenig. And number 21, Darren Koenig. So you hear that name quite often tonight as we have 2 brothers here. And we'll get a stoppage of play. You see, so far we have 33 watching this game live. Thank you for joining us here on Next Hockey Broadcast. It's been a while since I've gone live. I've just wanted a guarantee for my games to look good, at least the videos to look good as of late. But I can understand a lot of people have wanted me to go live or back to going live more often. And I completely understand that. And the video feed you're seeing probably looks better than the stream it did last year, because I used a different streaming program last year where I got to use graphics, but the downsides of the video quality went down, and that wasn't worth it to me. It should look pretty clear from your perspectives watching this at home or whatever you might be seeing this game. But anyways, back to this game. Delrico slides one to the corner. O'Neill backhands one to Delrico. Well, controlling the left boards towards the play. Big hits made by Matthew Flynn. Matthew Flynn, who is an all-star with Kutztown D3, his first year in Division II. This is only his 13th game of the season. He is, if you combine his points or count his points from D3, he is 5 points away to getting 100 career points with the Kutztown Golden Bears. As he has 95 with, well, no, actually, yeah, he has not, no, he had 92 with D3. He has 3 points this year, my bad. He has a goal and 2 assists. Just trying to get my math right. I learned that in elementary school. Interception pass. And that shot is saved there by JJ. The rebound is stuffed there by Jenny. Jack Kinahan, who has scored a few goals over the Kutztown Golden Bears the last few years, is denied there several times. Sacred Heart Hockey Club actually had another game prior to this one. Their D2 team, they won 7-5. There's many teams that played. They did not simply build this state-of-the-art rink just for their club teams. No, the club teams do use it, but it's mainly for their NCAA programs. Back on the right side there is TJ Bayer. He gets tangled up there. It's picked up there in front. They score! What a wrist shot on the high spot! There's that goal horn I was talking about. I wanted to wait to say who scored. And it goes to Jack Kinahan. He had that good chance on Janney earlier. He squeaks that one by, top side it in. And the Pioneers lead 1-0 less than 5 minutes into the game. His 5th goal of the season. And so, Sacred Heart strikes first. Their 3rd shot on net is the first goal of the hockey game. And I'm not sure how loud that goal horn might have sounded. I'll have to check the film on that later. And so the home team goes up by 1. That shot there is blocked by dead denying Luke Botti. And actually, if you look at the comment section for this stream, actually, hold on a second. If you look at the comment, I actually put the comment section, I added the updated score. So I just typed in 1-0 SAU or SHU. That's the only way I can put the score on the live stream. Like, I'll keep this stream up after the game, but within the next day or so, I'll take this down and post the edited version with the scoreboard on the top left corner and the period transition videos that you might see, even the intro video that plays. I beg my pardon. That was Bauer who made the pass that was slightly intercepted there by Venzili. Dan had this puck hit off his skate. Matthew Dan scored 2 goals against the Pioneers last time these two teams met. Centering pass across. They try to get to the stick there of Edward Jackson, but the puck went off his skates and not to his stick. This goes off the stick blade of Dan, trying to get into the zone, but he could not. And a line change for the Pioneers. Asher Paul putt. The sophomore rings it around the boards to Jacob DeLazio. Give it back to him. Josh Bauer will take it on the corner. They'll make an outlet pass to another former Puckwood Trojan and Connor McGinty. He comes in over the line. McGinty trying to center it there for Isak. He couldn't pick it up as there were too many Pioneers in his way. Bouncing puck back towards the Pioneer zone. Swept across there towards center from TJ Bayer. Chasing for it there is McDermott. But O'Neal got to it first for Kutztown. Comes back to the point. Birch with a shot deflected en route and would go wide. Trying to get possession of this puck there is Walsh. And it'll be taken by Braden Jansen. That puck made a strange ricochet on the right corner. Jansen gets it back, however, to O'Neal. And McGinty will try to control here on the corner. Sacred Heart may be up 1-0, but we still have a long game to go with a little less than 14 minutes left in the first period. And if I can tell on the bus ride, the vibe that I got from the hockey players and just the team in general, they seem pretty optimistic heading into this one, myself included. These teams have had a lot of good games these last 2 years. Isak trying to cut on through. He got a shot on net that's saved there on the left side by Tanner Blom. And Antonio O'Neill will get a wrist shot saved there as McGinty trying to get the rebound, but that deflected over the net. Tanner Blom. This puck is lifted up into the center. Gravity brings it down and stays in play. Ritz, one ahead to Colin Mendham. Couldn't control it. And trying to race after this puck on the left side there is Koenig. Koenig trying to center one in front. That goes off the pad there of Jay Janney as he covers the rebound with exactly 13 minutes to go in the first period. So I was mentioning earlier, Kutztown played last week against Delaware. I'll briefly recap that game. Now they lost to the Delaware Blue Hens 5-1. The Blue Hens were up 3-0. And then, well, midway there to the second period, Nick Leal made a nice pass to Gavin Malkoff to score his 4th goal of the season. Made a 3-1 game. The Delaware Blue Hens scored not too long after. They take a 4-1 lead, and eventually they got an empty net goal late in the third period. Then we had a fight involving Griffin Carpenter, which resulted in his 1-game suspension, which is surprising because the fights we had in the game against Millersville earlier in the year, back in October, those fights were a lot more reckless, and that led to no suspensions for some reason. And yet the little fight that Carpenter had was a lot more meager in comparison, yet he got 1 game out. So Carpenter actually misses his first game of the year. He has not been inactive for anything until now. This will be an icing against the Golden Bears. And again, if you didn't catch during pregame, Jackson Foster is also out with a concussion. He's out for the weekend. And by the week, and you might have noticed I said weekend because Kutztown will be back again tomorrow. It's crazy that they are playing again tomorrow because this game is going to be probably over by midnight at this rate, or if just before. I project we probably won't get back to Kutztown's campus until maybe 3 to 3:30, maybe a little earlier than that. And then they play at the campus ring in Downingtown the very next night at 7:30 to take on the Fordham Rams, which is going to be a tough test because Fordham is ranked first place in the Purple Division of the Empire Conference. So that's going to be a tough task for Kutztown as they're likely going to be a little tired from that. This puck is tipped nearly into the slot. Trying to pull the trigger there for Sacred Heart was TJ Bayer. Back comes Leon on a 1-on-3. Glove save made there by Tanner Blom as he does not cover up. He gives it back to his line mates. As the Pioneers get it back into their own zone. Kutztown only 1 shot on net so far as they are down 1-0 with 11.5 to go in the period. Tenjuko behind his net. See what he'll do here. Right wing pass intending for Leone. He actually ran into a Pioneers player near his goal crease. That was, I'm trying to see who that was. That was Edward Jackson he kind of bodied into after he made that pass. Leone in front. See Tanner Blom as Kutztown finally gets another shot on goal. Swatwinski will have to skate it down. President of Kutztown Ice Hockey hits it off the glass, and we have a high stick to stop play. I'm not sure if it's a high sticking penalty or just a ruling. Let's see here. No, it doesn't look like a penalty. They're just calling a high stick to call play dead. Looked like it was on Ryan Benzili. Liam O'Neill on the left wing gives one to the trailer of Matthew Dan. He bodied there on the left side by Colin Birch. He'll backhand one towards the right point for Swabwinski. Shooting one. Actually, no, he's trying to make a play here. I thought he was shooting it towards the goal. I was wrong there. Here's a shot towards the goal there from Esack that was blocked by Colin Birch. And lifted ahead. Off the stick of Swabwinski, picking up the puck there is McBee, and that shot deflected and goes out of play as we're nearing the halfway point of the period already. So as for Kutztown's opponent in the Sacred Heart Pioneers, again, what a beautiful stadium here at Martiri Family Arena. I'm actually going to adjust the camera here so you guys can get a better look at this beautiful stadium. Only 3 years old. So well done here. Again, it costed Sacred Heart University $75 million to build this shrine here in Fairfield, Connecticut. I would think Kutztown's one of many teams that has come into this building over the years. Just thinking, man, how cool if we had a stadium like this. Agree. If we had a Golden Bears themed stadium like this, or even better, how cool would that be? Tanner Blum will sweep this behind his goal. It went off of the stick of a Kutztown forward. That was Mendham. Bauer trying to get in there to help him. Scooped up there off the body in front there of Samuel Wiener. And Mendham and Wiener they're actually kind of pushing and shoving each other. And I think we might have a coincidental minors coming up here on Mendham and Wiener. And it looks like we do. Mendham is going to go in the box, and so is Wiener. Looks like it's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Just waiting for the official ruling. And there you go. So they'll have the face-off on the right side of Tannerblom. Kutztown trying to get more offensive chances. As it'll be 4-on-4, extra space on the ice here at Martiri Family Arena for the next 120 seconds. There's a collision on the left boards. Kutztown looking for a penalty. It's being shaken up there is Jansen. He's okay, so he'll stay on the ice for this shift. Speaking of Jansen, will have it on the right side. Jansen will try to shoot from long range, but it's blocked in front. Tanner Blum will hit it off the boards. As the Pioneers will take it right back. Tipped off the stick of Ritz into the zone. Antonio Noah. Give it to Jansen. Again, part of his family watching all the way from Los Angeles tonight. Thank you guys for watching. And now he'll hit it off the boards, trying to get possession back. He'll unintentionally give it to Jansen. And DeLazio will skate it through. Leaves it behind himself here. I think he was trying to give it to Anella. Canestra ran to the body there of Will Hayes. And Chase gets it right back, swerves it on the right side. Body almost trying to skate it into the zone, but it'll go to Jansen on the right side. Shot from the angle of Tanner Blum, but that didn't even hit the goal. Body gets hit there by Jansen. Brendan Canning, drop it on back. As the Pioneers will take their time here. Leone getting aggressive there, trying to get the puck out of the stick of Hayes. Luke Body, Leone takes it back into the right circle. Backhand shot, that goes wide of Tanner Blum. 8 minutes to go in the first period as the Pioneers still lead 1-0. Shots on net tied at 4. 30 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. DeLazio to the left wing of Canestra over the line, trying to deke around the defender, Luke Body. Chase gets it back. Good defensive play by DeLazio. And Canestra gets tripped up. I'm surprised they didn't call a penalty unless he just fell on his own power. I almost thought a Sacred Heart stick got in there, unless my eyes are deceiving me. You guys are able to see instant replay on that. But anyways, Malkov makes a steal on the angle, and he hits it off the side of the net. Comes in front for a wrist shot that's blocked there from Asher Paul Punt. Good chances for Malkov and Putt there. Asher still looking to get his first goal of the season and in college hockey. Isak on the corner, lifts one towards center, nearly gloved down there by Benzili. As the Pioneers will deposit it back into the opposition zone to get a line change on the defense. Lifting the puck up his stick is McBeeb towards the corner. Malkov trying to forecheck it. Bauer backhands one towards the point as Putt was trying to get to it, but he couldn't. Edward Jackson back to his other defender, Strano. Jackson towards the wing, into the neutral zone. Over the line's Vinzilli. Right lane pass for a shot that goes wide there from McBeeb. Still stuck behind the goal. Swatwinski kind of checks the front there of Edward Jackson. Jackson and Bauer kind of going after each other as well. Checks made by O'Neill on the right corner there of McBeeb. And he'll go to Josh Bauer. Swatwinski on his own corner. Forehands 1-2. Liam O'Neill. O'Neill trying to guide one ahead for Bauer. Couldn't connect, no icing, as Tenenbaum will leave one in front for his defense. Chopped into the zone there by the forward Hunter McBeeb. And now off the corner. Coming back the other way is Sean Pohl, but he couldn't hold on to it on the left side. Less than 6 minutes to go in the period. Here's a shot by Grealish. Comes in front. Flynn could get a chance on goal. Carter Ritz on defense. Forehands one off the stick of Sean Ward. Ward playing his 11th game of the season and in D2. Now I'll try to get by to it. He can't. The Pioneers take it first. There's a check made there on Antonio Nella. There's a delayed penalty coming up against the Pioneers. Causing the penalty is Ryan Walsh. Delayed call coming out of the net is Janney. So Kutztown will go on the power play, but it is a delayed call, so it won't happen until the Pioneers touch the puck. Canestra almost lost it. It deflected off of a Pioneer stick. Whistle is blown with a tad less than 5 minutes to go in the period. And with Kutztown trailing by 1, they'll get a chance to tie the game at 1 on their first power play of the night. It's going to be an interference penalty. Ryan Walsh goes in for 2 minutes. His 4th penalty of the year. Oh, wait, hold on a second here. It's not going to be a power play. I apologize. Now Josh Bauer is appearing to be opening the penalty box. He's now going in the box. What is this for? I'm not sure what that penalty is for. I'm not, like, if they gave a ruling on that, I must have missed it because I saw the first penalty signal by the official, but then okay, then it's not a power play. I apologize. I thought we were about to go on the man advantage. So it's going to be 4-4 once again, the second time this period. Well, you can see the live box score on Game Sheet is not being updated as we speak, unfortunately, so I can't get official confirmation on what those penalties are. Well, the first one I know. The second one, yeah. But regardless, 4-4 for now 1:35. O'Neill ahead for Leon. Couldn't control the puck. Forehanded one there by Andrew Smith. Chopped after the stick of Slomwinski at center. Isak circles back to the right side. Dekes around the defender, TJ Bayer. I beg my pardon, that's actually a forward, not a defenseman. Botti. We've seen him play against Kutztown over the last 2 years, wearing 17 in red and gray. Nice move around Slomwinski. Cuts on in. Save made by Janney as he closes the door with the 2 pads. This puck is controlled into the slot to the right side by McBeeb. Shoots it on net, and it's stopped by Jay Janney. So for Sacred Heart, bit of a strange thing. I mean, maybe I'm just used to this for Kutztown because if you compare the schedule for Kutztown and Sacred Heart, Kutztown started the year with 28 games scheduled. Sacred Heart only has 20 games scheduled this year, which is definitely strange. I mean, I'm not sure if they had a bunch of games canceled. That's just how their schedule goes. Because after tonight, they only have 4 games left in the season. It could be 5 more after this because they had a game scheduled last Saturday, the 24th, against Columbia University, but that game was postponed due to the snowstorm. Sacred Heart's last game was last Friday, where they lost to the Farmingdale State Rams 6-5. 19 seconds on the 4-on-4. McBeebe, Edward Jackson. Here's McBeebe, 2-on-2. McBeebe, wait, shoots one. Pad save by Janney off the right side. Tenjuko trying to back him one. And we have a tripping penalty. This will be on Tenjuko. And we're going to have our first power play of the night. And it will belong to Sacred Heart. Actually, it's on Chase Canestra. I apologize. I thought it was Tenjuko who made the trip, but he was actually close to Chase. So Chase goes in for tripping. Chase Canestra, who has the second most penalty minutes on the team this year after this power play, he'll have 47 penalty minutes. The man that has the most is the guy suspended, Griffin Carpenter, with 56. And actually, I'll talk about in the second period a little funny stat about Carpenter involving his penalty minutes. Stay tuned for that in the second period. So power play underway for the Pioneers as they're up 1-0 with 2:42 to go in the period. 2:42 and counting, I should say. Kinahan, who has the first goal of the night, the assistant captain, lost control near the blue line as Sacred Heart will have to regroup. Colin Birch. And Birch was going to bring it in, but it would have been an offsides against his team. Birch to the left point. It goes to the left boards of Kinahan. Kinahan wearing the Bill Barber number 7. Jackson towards the point of Colin Birch. Back to Jackson on the left boards. Birch wants the puck back, shoots on that, and a save made by Janney with the shoulder, it appeared to be. Jansen trying to control. He can't as the Golden Bears get it out of their zone. 2 minutes to go in the period. 1 minute to go in the Canestra penalty for tripping. On the right side here is Walsh. Walsh looking for a man. He was intending to give it there to Zealy, but he couldn't control. Zealy over the line. He's got room on the left wing. Goes in on that save by Janney. And the Golden Bears get it out of their zone. Luke Tennerblom, who will leave it behind. He hasn't had to do much tonight. So far, he has saved 4 shots. That's the thing about Kutztown. Even some of their recent losses, they have ended up outshooting their opponents, including when they outshot Drexel and Delaware over the last few weeks. 10 seconds on the power play for Sacred Heart. Kutztown will get control here. Spotwinski rattle off the boards with the other man wearing number 20, Sean Pohl. Let's come to the corner. They'll try to center it back to Pohl. They couldn't connect on the pass. Power play is ended, and we're now in the last minute to play in the period. Here's Canestra on a one-on-one. Chase tried to cut on through, but he lost control as he ran into Body. Volkov trying to make a backhand sweep, but he couldn't get much control of it. Liam O'Neill on the wing. Forehanding one that goes off the glove there, Body. And we have a whistle. I think it's for a hand pass with 30.7 seconds left. And they'll have the face-off brought into the Kutztown zone. Definitely a bit of a slow start for the Golden Bears, but again, we still got 2 periods left to go here. Sacred Heart up 1-0. Off this time, damn, what a backhand shot that goes wide of the goaltender Tanner Blom. Sacred Heart has time here on the counterattack here. Darren Koenig trying to bring it into the zone. This goes off the side of the net there, and we get a halt to play as the goal of Jay Janney is dislodged. Kutztown is pretty familiar with Sacred Heart, as this is the fifth time they've played each other over the last 3 seasons. Kutztown has a record of 2-2 against the Pioneers, and they won their last game. I'll talk more in depth of the result against Sacred Heart during the season and the last time they were here a little later on. That will go out of play with 2.2 seconds remaining on the clock. During intermission, I'll keep the stream on. I'll keep the camera just at center ice, but you'll notice the audio will be off. Don't worry. There's no technical issue. That's just me turning off the mic. So I'll turn that off, and I'll put it back on when we begin the period. Off the draw. No one gets the puck. And that's the end of the first period. Sacred Heart leads 1-0. The only goal coming from Jack Kinahan, his 5th of the season. Shots on net are 12-4 Pioneers. Got a long game left to go here in Fairfield, Connecticut, as it's 9:44 right now p.m. It's going to be pretty late by the time this game ends, and even later by the time these two teams get home. We'll be back for the second period. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Second period between the Golden Bears and Pioneers is about to get underway. The score is 1-0 Sacred Heart. Shots on net 12 for Pioneers. The goal coming from Jack Kinahan. Actually, want to give a shout out to someone in the comments. It's Mike it 1467. Thank you for correcting me on how to pronounce the name for Sacred Heart goaltender number 35, Luke Tannenbaum. I was accidentally mispronouncing it, saying Tanner Blom. It's Tanner Baum. I thank you for the correction. I appreciate that because I always want to get these names right. I try to act like a professional, or be professional, I should say, while calling these games. So thank you for that. Tanner Blom in net for Sacred Heart, saving 4 of 4 shots. He's on the right side. Janny now on the left. It's Kutztown, as you can see, directly below us, trying to get a better period here as I'm not sure what's the lowest amount of shots they've had to start a game, but I'm willing to bet 4 is definitely down there. As Melikov goes for the opening faceoff once again, and the second period is underway. O'Neill to Leone, ahead there for Chase Canestra. On the right side, the junior with a wrist shot that's blocked off the defender, Andrew Smith. O'Neill off the boards, on off a few sticks and skates, deflected by Leone, and now will go out of play, which only takes 24 seconds off the clock to start the second period. I want to mention for the Pioneers, for this hockey club in the Empire Collegiate Conference, they are buddies with Kutztown in their own division. By buddies, I should say rivals in a way. And in their 3 years of existence, they're looking to get their second ever Empire Conference championship. They won their conference in their first year back in 2024, and now they're in their third season here in 2026. So they're trying to get their second championship in 3 years this season. They are currently sitting in 4th place in the Empire Conference in the Purple Division. I was saying earlier in how Kutztown played here last year, but there's a good amount of rookies that weren't here and never played here until now. They'll actually redo the faceoff here at center ice. And while we wait for this game to continue, here's like a little recap of Kutztown's results against Sacred Heart over the last 2 years. They're 2-2 against the Pioneers in their last 4 games. We played them back on November 11th in 2023. Kutztown won 8-5. That game was in Body Zone. Kutztown had that game to celebrate their military appreciation game. Big haste made there on Josh Bauer. He ran into the body there. He went off of Edward Jackson. I'll get back to recapping those games and the pass against Sacred Heart in a little bit. Probably the next whistle, I'll get back to that little talking segment there. Samuel Wiener, and I'll deflect and go out of place. Now we can go back to that talking point I was saying. So Kutztown played Sacred Heart back in November of 2023. It was during Kutztown's military appreciation game. They won it 8-5. Kutztown former president and Captain Jackson Novak in that game got his 100th career point as a Golden Bear. And then last season, Kutztown played Sacred Heart twice. They first played them in Body Zone back on October 5th. They lost that game 6-0 as at the time sophomore goaltender number 70, Caleb Dinsdale, got his first college start. He's now a junior. And then Kutztown played here last year on October 12th of 2024. They lost that game 3-1. Sacred Heart was up 1-0 in that first period from Ryan Walsh. Then about halfway across, actually not halfway, I should say early in the third period, at the time senior defenseman Paul Perricone tied the game for Kutztown. And then with a little less than 2 minutes to go in the game, as a goal almost happens there, that puck pinball towards Janney, but with almost 2 minutes to go, actually a little less than 2 minutes to go in that game last year, Jack Kinahan got the game-winning goal for the Pioneers, giving his team a 2-1 lead, and then Edward Jackson got to empty that goal. It was a close game. Zach Jewett, who's no longer plays for the Golden Bears, started in that game for Kutztown. He played very well in that game at the time. And that was the last time we were here. So Kutztown is at least somewhat familiar with playing the same Sacred Heart team in this rink. But it's still pretty cool for them to play here. The control on the right side for recently mentioned Ryan Walsh. So Walsh will shoot it on in, and we'll get a line change now for both teams. More of a line change for Sacred Heart, actually, really. Kinahan on shot from the angle, save made by Jay Jenny. He'll hold on with 17:09 to go. A collision is made on Asher Paul putt after the fact. And then the last time these two teams played was earlier this season, back on October 26th, taking place at Body Zone. A crazy game where Kutztown had 51 shots on net. Canestra and Dan got things going early in the first period for Kutztown. They were up 2-0. Then the Pioneers scored 4 unanswered goals from Edward Jackson, 2 goals from Brendan Murphy, and 1 from Jack Kinahan to give the Pioneers a 4-2 lead after 2. Then Matthew Dan and Chase Canestra scored again each. They had 2 goals each, tied the game at 4, and then in overtime, it was won by the stick of Kutztown president Bailey Swapwinski. It's a game I, unfortunately, was not available for, but it was one of their best victories of the season. One of their 5 victories on the year as Matthew Flynn's shot goes wide. Being taken down from behind there was Grealish on a legal play. As this puck deflects back to the right corner off the stick there of Kinahan. Trying to control in front as Sean Ward falls down on his own power. And Tanjuko on defense. Forehands one, lifting it to center. And I'll give it to his defender, Brandon Koenig. Koenig will give it to the right side for Murphy. Chopped after the stick of Tanjuko. Darren Koenig will hold on here. With Tanjuko back check behind himself there. They'll make a centering pass across off the skate there of Leon. Almost an own goal there. Janney turned it away. We had an own goal from Justin Tanjuko last week where he was trying to sweep the puck away from Caleb Dinsdale, but he accidentally tipped it under his 5-hole and in. That shot that there saved by Janney on the right side. Kaninga hits it off the body there of Matthew Flynn on the left corner. Flynn, forehands one, intending there for Leon. He'll try to get to it, but actually, yeah, he'll reach for it on the left side. Leon reinforced the centering pass for Molokov, and that swept wide there of the goaltender, Tannerbaum. Shot on that saved by Tannerbaum, I should say, off his pad, and another chance there for Molokov. Again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. For some reason, it's a bit of a tongue twister for me tonight. Feel bad for that whenever that happens for any player. O'Neal on the right side. It's bodied there. Luke Botti behind himself. As the Pioneers hit it off the glass. Swapwinski on defense. Forehands one. To the right side, Bauer trying to chase for it. He has room on the right wing. Centering there for Canestra. He missed it wide. Oh, Chase was right there. The best scoring opportunity for Kutztown so far, and he didn't even hit it on goal. 14.5 to go in the period as it's still 1-0 Sacred Heart shots on that 16-7 Pioneers. And for reference, Kutztown only had 4 shots in the first period. They already have 3 about 5.5 into the second period. Isak, forehanding one for Dan on the left side, trying to develop a 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Here's Dan, Bauer, and he got a shot on net there, saved there by the goaltender, Tannerbaum. I think Bauer fanned on it at first. I think he was trying to give it back to Dan, but he makes a backhand shot attempt instead. Connor McGinty at center. Some get good scoring chances early in the first period, trying to get a centering pass in front. Went off of the body of Samuel Weiner. Isak intercepts the puck in the slot. Isak wristing one from long range. Save made there by Luke Tannerbaum. He's still looking to get his first win of the season, as he has saved 9 of 9 so far. If you guys don't know, I've actually been posting a little extra content for the Kutztown Golden Bears on Nick's Hockey Broadcast.weeby.com. I've been posting preview and recap articles for all the Kutztown games I've been involved with this year. I've also been posting on Spotify Nick's Hockey Podcast, weekly podcast episodes discussing the Kutztown Golden Bears, recapping games, and previewing future matchups. You can see the links for that on my link tree on Instagram at Nicholas Garofolo 35. As the Pioneers bring it back into the zone for a shot that goes wide of the blocker side of Jay Janney from Ryan Walsh. Puck is behind the net. Ritz hits it off the boards. Being hit on the left side there is Tanjuko. I beg my pardon, that's actually Mendham. I thought I saw 8. That's number 9 in maroon and gold. And we have a hand pass to stop play with 12:34 to go. And while we're at this whistle, so one thing I also have on nickshockeypodcast.weeby.com is a stat packet. I have some of the papers printed here for me tonight. And one stat I want to mention is that Kutztown has a record of 0-11 while playing on Friday. They have yet to win a game on Friday this season. They have a record of 2-4 on Saturday, and Kutztown's best day playing hockey is Sunday. As they've played 4 games on Sundays this year, they are 3-1. Today's game, if you lost track, is Friday. Almost wonder if this game ends past midnight, if you consider it a Saturday victory or loss. Look at that, you would consider it a Friday, because it started on Friday. But again, Kutztown will play again tomorrow at Downingtown to take on the Fordham Rams. So they're hoping to at least end their losing streak tonight, if not tomorrow. Tougher test will be tomorrow, not only because Fordham has had a better record, but simply for the fact that they're all the way out here tonight. As Jenny covers the puck in the middle of a mad scramble, being checked from behind Sean Ward there by TJ Bayer, and we have an arm up into the air here, and it looks like we have a penalty of some sorts coming up. Let's see who this is on. I thought maybe it would be on Sacred Heart at first for that cross-check made by Weiner, and actually it is. Actually, Bayer, I'm sorry, Weiner wears 34, Bayer wears 24. He's going to go into the box of shame. I'm going to hesitate to say if it's a power play, because last time I thought it was a power play, it wasn't. Let's see. It will be a power play. 2 minutes in the box of shame is TJ Bayer. His 5th penalty of the season. And Kutztown will go on their first man advantage of the night. So off the face-off, Isak will backhand one to Carter Ritz. As Kutztown is trailing by 1 as we're getting close to the halfway point of the period and the game. 11 and a half to be exact. Minutes left to go in the period. Carter Ritz in the high slot. Isak on the right circle. Malakov trying to tip one in front. Save made there off the right pad of Tannerbaum. Oh, he robbed Chase Canestra. Chase has had 2 great scoring chances. One there, one we saw several minutes ago where he missed the net. Chase gets it right. Actually, that's Isak who gets it right back. I'll try to clear it ahead. Kept just onside by Canestra. Right wing feed. Malakov a shot. Save made there. Bauer picks up the rebound. And turning back around is Isak. Isak a shot. Save made there by the closing pads there of Luke Tannerbaum. A collision is there on Josh Bauer in the corner. Canestra on the high side, wristing one that ripped wide there off the glove side. Isak picks up the biscuit, gets taken down from behind on a legal check, and the Pioneers good short-handed break. 2-on-1 developed up here. Over the line is Hayes. Right wing pass across. Gets a shot on that save made there by Jay Janney. The shot attempt there was from Brandon Canning from Hayes. And it still remains 1-0 Sacred Heart. 30 seconds on the power play. Ritz off the boards to O'Neill. Kutztown, good scoring chances in this period. It's obviously, they look a lot more refreshed and more adjusted into this period, not just because of the amount of shots that they've had compared to it, but their chances on that have been pretty good. Halfway through the second period and halfway through regulation. And the power play for Kutztown has expired. It still remains 1-0 Sacred Heart. O'Neill will have to chase it down, but this will be an icing here against the Pioneers. Another random stat I can mention here, Kutztown, while wearing their maroon away jerseys this year, has a record of 1-7. They only have one win while wearing them. And the record while wearing their gold jersey is 4-9. Off this face-off for Bauer. He couldn't come up with it. Flipped off the glass there on the right side. Swabwinski trying to control. Gets a shot that's tipped off of the senior, Josh Bauer, and wide. Isak is tangled up there. Bauer behind the net trying to make a centering pass. He gets it right back. It went off the stick there of the recent man who caused the penalty, TJ Bayer. Shot from the right side there from Swabwinski. Deflected en route in traffic. Back up the Pioneers with a few skaters on the right side. Try to move it on in. That shot whistled wide on net from Edward Jackson. Now it is Isak. Trying to make a pass into the slot to Bauer. Couldn't connect on the play. Swabwinski. Flipping one past center ice into the Sacred Heart zone. And no icing here. I think Tenenbaum was thinking that was going to be an icing with the glove, his glove in his left hand up. But he did not get the call. Nice play by Isak to give it to McGinty. He'll turn back to Tenjuko on the right point. His shot tipped en route off of Isak and wide. Tenenbaum had to sprawl across to the left side after the puck made a straight bounce towards the goal crease. And this puck is now stuck on the right boards, and we might get a whistle soon enough. Jansen gets taken down, and we'll get a halt to play. A high stick is called here. Not sure. Sometimes I have a tough time determining if it's a high sticking penalty or just a high sticking ruling. Let's see here. I think we have a penalty. Could be wrong. And I think I am. I'm sorry. I just thought based on where the officials were going, they were about to put a man in the box, but they do not. It's just a high sticking ruling. That's one thing I mix up sometimes, even though I've been broadcasting for a few years now, the high sticking penalties and rulings. Well, sometimes the high sticking penalties are a little bit easier to pick up. Oh, wait a second. Oh, looks like I was right. It is a penalty, but it's going to be on Braden Jansen. It was just a bit of a delayed response. I'm worried about that Jansen wasn't aware he was given a penalty. Kind of surprised because he was given a call. I'm not sure what that's for because he got checked from behind as the puck was stuck on the right boards. Again, I don't have the live box scores updated right now. So, I mean, I know, like, you could say, like, why don't you just look at the official signaling? Well, sometimes when you're doing a stream, it's hard to keep track of everything. So, sorry for missing the exact call there. But it is a penalty on Jansen. Sacred Heart goes back to the man advantage as they're already up 1-0. And the Golden Bears get out of their zone. Well, I think the currently 40 of you watching this live stream, and those of you watching this game when it's posted later. Well, actually, this live stream will stay on my channel even after the stream's done tonight, but I'm just mentioning for those who watch this video a little later on when I have the scoreboard added. 7.5 to go in the period. 1:19 to go in the Sacred Heart power play. That centering pass intended there to TJ Bayer was on a connected four. One thing I noticed on Sacred Heart's social media is that they have this really cool heritage jersey. It's like a cream color. I noticed. I was actually kind of hoping they would wear them tonight just to see them, have them on while they play Kutztown tonight. But they still got their cool gray and red uniforms here tonight. Similar uniforms I've seen in the Lehigh Valley Scholastic Hockey League. They kind of remind me of the Parkland Trojans a little bit. Leon trying to chop after this puck in neutral ice, taken away there by Michael McDermott. McDermott cutting it on through, scores! McDermott! Once again, I wanted to wait to continue to announce that goal because of the loud goal horn right in the faces of the Kutztown bench. McDermott squeaks it past Jay Janney. I think he might want to have that one back. He tried to poke check it before he realized it went through his 5-hole and in. Michael McDermott, his 5th of the season, a power play goal. It's 2-0 Sacred Heart. And, you know, compared to last game, where Kutztown was up 2-0, it's now the other way around, where Sacred Heart now leads 2-0, with 6.5 to go in the second period. Luke Botti ran to by Gavin Molkov. Canestra trying to center it, and he couldn't control. Another thing to mention is that Kutztown has been down by 2 goals before against this Sacred Heart team and managed to come back. They were down 4-2 entering the third period when these two teams played in Bodystown back in late October. Ryvan Zile touches the puck here, and we have an interference call. This looks like it's going against the Pioneers. Interference is the call. Who is serving this? It's going to be on Hunter McBeeb. Not McBeeb, I'm sorry, Mabib. I apologize for that. Only his second penalty of the season. Big opportunity for Kutztown to get back in the game. They're down 2-0. They've had a better period overall in terms of offensive opportunities for their quality chances. And also considering that they have 7 shots on net, they only had 4 in the first. At least as of right now, they have 7. They'll likely get more, or at least they're hoping to get more on this power play. Isak, Ritz, moving to the right side, drops it behind himself on the right dot for Molokov. Now it's Isak. Back to Ritz. In front of the net is Bauer. Puck is brought back there for Canestra. Shooting one from the slot, deflected en route and would not go. Bauer trying to tackle the backside of Hayes. Bauer will try to get it on back. He does on the corner. Bauer trying to get it to Ritz, but he passed it too far from him. If he had a right-handed stick, he might be able to get that pass, but he is a lefty. So he's unable to corral that puck on that passing attempt. Isak, the grad student, off the right boards. Wiener will take it there for the Pioneers. Take his time to clear it down. He will. No icing on Sacred Heart since they are on the penalty kill. Tad less than 5 minutes to go in the period as the Pioneers lead 2-0. 50 seconds to go on the Kutztown power play. They'll lift this one to center. It'll go to the junior O'Neill, a.k.a. the Gavel. Comes in over the line. O'Neill will stop. He'll drop one to the point for Jansen. And now go to Anella. Try to tip it towards the high slot there for Leon. Couldn't get connect on the play. 26 seconds to go in the power play. Anello. Forehands one for O'Neill. They'll give it to Leon. Waits. Anello on the angle shot. And that's saved there by the left pad of Tannerbaum. At least I believe he got a piece of it. O'Neill for Tannerbaum is... Oh my goodness, he robs Antonio Anella. Tony that close to getting a power play goal and getting Kutztown back in the game. Now it's Leon that missed wide, and the power play is over. Luke Tannerbaum, what a save he has just made there again. He's trying to get his first win of the season. He is 0-3. And, I mean, look, I'm not someone Who can say for sure? I've seen him play a lot because this is the first time I've seen him, but I would think, at least as of right now, this is the best game he's played. Entering this game on a goals against average of 6.80. He's allowed none so far. He's only saved 13 shots, but he just made a great save on Anilla. Tony is, again, wearing a New Jersey number 52. Almost getting his 4th of the season right there. We have a delayed penalty. This is on Sacred Heart. Kutztown will go on yet another power play. Well, it's a delayed call. Touched up behind the net by Derico, and with 3:10 to go in the period, Kutztown, who's beginning, again, even though they only have 13 shots in that, they've been getting good quality shots in tight. Victor Derico will go in. And the power play line for Kutztown will be Canestra. It'll be Canestra, Molokov, Bauer, Isak, and Ritz. They desperately need a goal. If Kutztown can at least get a goal and hold Sacred Heart from scoring any more on the board for the rest of this period, I think that'll be some decent momentum heading into the third. But Canestra's shot is robbed there by the left glove of Luke Tenenbaum. Actually spoke with Sacred Heart goaltender number 33, Gabe Dice, before the game. He was telling me he's serving as the backup goaltender tonight for the Pioneers. Canestra on the point, trying to give it to Molokov, but he couldn't get to it. It'll go to Bauer instead. Ritz in the slot. Back anyone to Isak on the right dot. He'll give it to Ritz as he flops down, trying to just keep that puck in play. Good effort made by the freshman defenseman. Tipped back towards the right circle. Molokov with space. Canestra scores! Chase Canestra, knuckle puck. Gets it past the goaltender. Tenenbaum, and the Golden Bears on the power play. A much needed one have cut the lead in half. Chase Canestra, his 17th of the season and 3rd goal against the Pioneers this year. The 15th shot on net for Kutztown is a good one as it gets into the net. And so it's 1-0 Golden Bears. Molokov will get a point as he had an assist. And I think the puck went off of a Sacred Heart defender. I briefly looked at the replay. You guys got a better view of that than I did on the replay. At least I'll have to get a better look at that later on how that ricocheted. But regardless, I mean, as Flyers announcer Jim Jackson says a lot for goals that are kind of lucky, dirty but good. And that's something I would agree with, at least for the Golden Bears right now. So it's now 2-1 Sacred Heart with 2 minutes to go in the second period. Wiener on the right side. Shoots one. That goes wide. Trying to take control here is Mabib. Who had a recent penalty against his own team. And swept aside there by O'Neill. Towards the point, trying to keep it in the zone there is Birch. And he does. Pioneers controlling the angle. Backhand shot save made by Jay Janney. Denying Edward Jackson. Isak on the right side. 1.5 to go in the period. Isak waits. I think he tried to make a pass around Wiener through his legs, but he couldn't do it. Punt shot is blocked. And back on the Pioneers, if they can control, they can't fall down. Here's Mabib in a breakaway backhand. He scores! Justin Tanjuko lost his balance, and Mabib got right by him. Gets redemption as he caused the penalty earlier. He went in on that guy past Janney, and the Pioneers once again have a 2-goal lead. They're up 3-1. Hunter Mabib, his 3rd of the season. And for Tanjuko, that's definitely going to be frustrating. Not only for that, but I mentioned earlier last week he caused an own goal against Kutztown in the game versus Delaware last week. And now he slips and falls, trying to play defense. And it leads to that breakaway attempt from Mabib and a goal to go up 3-1. Last minute to play in the second period. Kutztown could have used that momentum. Oh, that was a big scoring chance there from Jack Kinahan. He almost had a second goal there. He couldn't corral the shot. Back comes Leone on the wing. And that shot goes off of the goaltender, Tannerbaum, and wide. I was going to say that Kutztown could have used that momentum heading into the second intermission. I was saying if they were to score, it'd be nice if they score and maybe not allow Sacred Heart to get any more goals on the score sheet, but they do. 17 seconds left. Molokov couldn't control. Body. Busts through the defense and gets a shot in net that goes wide of Janney. 6 seconds to go. Shot on the angle, saved by Janney. It was a good scoring chance there for McDermott. And that's the end of the second period. Kutztown did get a goal from Canestro, but then several minutes later, Mabib gives his Pioneers a 2-goal lead once again. Sacred Heart leads 3-1 after 2. Shots in net 25-16 Pioneers. We'll be back for the third and final period of regulation. Third period between the Kutztown Golden Bears and Sacred Heart Pioneers is about to get underway. The score is 3-1. Sacred Heart shots on net 25-16 Pioneers. The only goal for Kutztown coming from Chase Canestra, his 17th of the season and third against the Pioneers this year, assisted by number 10 Gavin Molikoff with his 13th assist. Forgot to mention actually for Molikoff, he leads the team in assists right now with 13 and now has 17 points. Good for Molly the Great One, as we call him around here. Molikoff will go for the opening faceoff for the third straight time. He went for the opening draw to start the first, second, and now the third period is underway. Kutztown on a 6-game losing streak, trying to avoid losing 7 in a row. As Janney will make the save off there. And, for Kutztown, come to think of it, for last season, if you look back in the 24-25 season, there came a point where Kutztown definitely had a bit of a slow start in the year, but once we got to November, they had a 9-game point streak with many wins and several ties. I can't take the exact number of how many wins. I think it was at least 6 wins and 3 ties, or 2 ties. It was something around there, but they had that long point streak happen for a good while. But now, Kutztown as of now are having a streak, but not in a good way, as they've lost 6 in a row, trying to avoid 7. And we have a 2-1-2 development here. Molikoff's shot that goes wide of the glove side of Luke Tennerbaum, who's played very well. Even though he's only dealt with 17 shots on goal, I think he's playing very good. He's still trying to get his first win with the Pioneers this season. And actually, come to think of it, based on the time is right now, it's 10:40 p.m. This game will not end as late as I thought it was going to be for Kutztown. They might get home a little earlier than I anticipated, which is definitely a good thing. And actually, one thing I've noticed, the intermissions here have been very brief. They've only been like 10 minutes, like 10 to 12 minutes. Usually they're like around 15 minutes or a little longer. I almost wonder if it's shorter because Sacred Heart's aware of how far Kutztown has come just to be here tonight and knowing that they play tomorrow. So that's definitely appreciated if that's the case. Sorry, that play there, trying to tuck it home, was Matthew Danny. Couldn't finish it. I don't think Tennerbaum made the save. Dan was unable to get it in. He has 2 goals versus the Pioneers this year. And actually, kind of trying to think about it here now. I remember when I was here last year, where Dan was a freshman, still didn't score any goals or points during his first year with the Golden Bears. He had his best game, I thought, of his freshman year here against Sacred Heart. He had several quality scoring chances against the Pioneers. And that shot saved there into the glove of Tennerbaum. Hope you guys are satisfied with the camera view I have here tonight. I actually did speak with the staff here at Martiri Family Arena prior to the game, asking if I could possibly set up my broadcast in their actual broadcast booth, but they said no, which is totally fine. I just figured it wouldn't hurt to ask. I'm actually on the away side of the stands, and you can see the Kutztown bench right below us. So it's still a great view, though. I just figured it wouldn't hurt to ask him if I could go up there, but still, I'm just glad I get the broadcast here in this state-of-the-art arena here in Fairfield, Connecticut. This is actually the first of 2 games, or of at least 2 games, Kutztown will play in the state of Connecticut. They'll have the Empire playoffs take place in Shelton, Connecticut, starting on February 19th. But that's a topic for another day. Ritz trying to pass it there for Jansen, I believe, but this will cause an icing. And I know you guys heard earlier that how I write recaps and previews and recaps for the Kutztown Golden Bears. I'll have the recap article for this game up by tomorrow or so. I'll likely write it on the bus on the way home, if not tomorrow morning. And post knickshockey.broadcast.weeby.com. But also, I release it, or I announce my articles being released on social media. Tennerbaum hits it off the glass, and the Pioneers move back the other way. Here's McDermott going in on that. He has a goal, trying to go for 2, and that shot saved by Janney. He had several chances. Actually, he had a chance on that late in the second period as well, McDermott. the name McDermott I'm a lot more familiar with former head coach Sean McDermott as I'm a Bills fan. That comes in front to Tenenbaum. They score! After that mad scramble, the Golden Bears get back into the hockey game. Tenenbaum mismanaged it. It comes to the slot, and it's shot on in. Matthew Flynn was the last to touch it. He gets it home. Gets a big goal for his team. Flynn, the junior in D2. His second of the season. Big goal for Kutztown. 16:34 to go in the game as they're down by 1. Flynn's first and only goal was back on October 11th when Kutztown beat the Stony Brook Seawolves. That's actually the last time I've seen this Golden Bear team win. We have a penalty coming up here as Sean Ward's hit hard there by Birch. And then Greenwich takes down Birch. And it looked like Kutztown was about to go on the power play. They might not now. We'll see what happens after they assess these penalties. Well, I was trying to say here earlier before that scramble that resulted in that goal for Sacred Heart. Like the name McDermott, I kind of relate to as I'm a fan of the Buffalo Bills, and they just fired their coach McDermott. So whenever I see that name, I just think of the playoff loss they just had to Denver. But I'm sorry I'm getting off topic here. We're just trying to fill in time. And Kutztown's not going to go on the power play. The penalty on Birch is being called, but now we have the recent goal scorer, Matthew Flynn, serving a minor. So Kutztown was, I'm pretty sure, was about to go on the man advantage, but not now. It's going to be 4-4 once again. And we'll get a bit of a delay here. Looking back on the replay, Jansen got around Tenenbaum. He tried to flip one in front of his own net. That's something that you're taught, especially as a defenseman, to never leave the puck in front. Then there was a defender for Sacred Heart who tried to clear it out. That was actually Brendan Kenning. He tried to clear it, but it went to the slot for Flynn, and then he wristed it home to get Kutztown back into the hockey game. And I apologize if I didn't call that goal the best way. I think I got I was talking about the whole McDermott thing, and then I got my tongue a little twisted trying to describe what was happening. I got a little behind there, so it sounded like I was saying a bunch of random things during that goal. I'm sorry about that, but that's just what happens sometimes as a play-by-play announcer. As we still have a delay here, Flynn is now not present from the penalty box, actually. As we still wait to get a ruling here. Sorry I didn't say this out loud, but Flynn then left the penalty box. I think he was giving him his conduct. I'm trying to see if I can spot him on the bench. I don't see him. Again, I'm sorry, I don't have access to the live box scores on Game Sheet being updated right now, so I can't exactly tell you what they're calling. They're not even like announcing on the PA system for that, for the penalties. As this delay lingers on, I think Flynn was giving him misconduct. If not, he was kicked out. I don't see him anywhere. He's not on the box. He's not on the bench. He's certainly not on the ice. And Flynn's penalty was just taken off the scoreboard. I almost wonder if they're giving him a further penalty. Part of me is hoping it's not a 5-minute major for whatever reason. As this delay lingers on, now Sean Ward comes out of the bench. I think he's going to be serving Flynn's penalty. And Ward is now going to the bench, and he's not serving the penalty. A lot of confusion here in the Knicks hockey broadcast booth right now. We wait to see what they're going to call here on Flynn, if anything at all. I'm not sure if they're just taking it off. Like I would think, based on the fact they took the penalty off the Jumbotron here, here at Martiri Family Arena. I'm guessing they're going to be increasing his penalty to more than 2 minutes. And again, just to say, there was a penalty called on Colin Birch for 2 minutes. So it will be, let's see. And okay, here we go. It's going to be a power play for Kutztown. There, okay, I guess they're not giving that penalty to Flynn. I don't have communication with the scores box in any way to know exactly what they called. But okay, there you go. It is a man advantage for the Golden Bears, much needed, as they're down by 1. So it is a power play for KU. I'll let you know if I even see Flynn back on the ice later. I'll have to get more information about that after the game on what they called there. They're going to be Molokov on the right side, who had to assist on the Canester goal, rings it around the boards. Isak on the left side, shooting one in, and that's blocked off his stick. That went off of Brandon Koenig. Breakaway for Koenig, short-handed. Actually, no, it's not breakaway. He does get a quality shot, and that's short-handed. That's blockered aside by Janney. Halfway through the power play now, Kutztown has made this a very interesting game. They're down 3-2 with 15 minutes left. They are desperately trying to get their 6th win of the season and end their 6-game losing streak. Behind the net is Isak. Isak centering. Bauer, a shot saved off the right pad of Tennerblom. And the Pioneers clear. Anello. For anyone, trying to get it to O'Neal. Goes to Molly, the great one instead. Molokov. Isak on the right boards. Towards the right circle. Behind the net, he hits it off the boards. He will give it towards Matthew Dan. That's actually Dan who brought it. No, it was Molokov who brought it to the zone. Almost thought I got confused with the numbers there for a second. Dan wears 91. Molokov wears 10. Speaking of 10 seconds on the power play. Jansen on the right wing. Power play is over. The Golden Bears calling through. Mendham couldn't hold on. O'Neal just keeps it into the zone. Trying to make a pass to the right side of Mendham. Couldn't connect on the play. And the Pioneers clear the puck through neutral ice. Anello to O'Neal. Off of his stick. It went off of McDermott. Mendham trying to cut through the slot. McDermott backhands one towards the Sacred Heart bench. Mendham tending to forehand one to O'Neal. It will be taken by Connor McGinty. McGinty on the wing. Gets hit there off the boards. Kutztown not happy about that, but it was a clean check from here. Tenjuko off the boards. Connor McGinty. Pookie takes it behind the net. DeLazio off a tipped pass to Tenjuko. Nearly turned it over. He does turn it over. McDermott a shot checked down there. It deflected, and then he checked down Mendham. McDermott on the corner. On the point there is Stranell. That shot that is saved there by Janney, and he'll hold on. 13:09 remains in the game, as it's a 1-goal affair. Based on the time right now, it is 10:51. Unless this game ends up going to a shootout that's like unbelievably long, this game should end before midnight. That'll be a good thing for Kutztown on their ride home. It's still going to be late by the time they return back to Kutztown, PA, but maybe not as late as we once thought. Shot from the point, deflected wide. O'Neal trying to reach for it, could not. Bauer takes it at center. Has Dan on his right side. Bauer backhanding with her, shoving on through the pads there of Tennerblom, but he was denied in front. Bauer trying to get it again. He could not hold on to it. Ryvan Zile. Sorry, I was pronouncing his name differently earlier. His name is pronounced Zile, actually. That no pass goes wide there from Jackson. As the body of Botti ran into Bauer. They'll control it back on the left side there from Habib, and that shot would not go. Bauer skates this one behind his net to Slotwinski. He intended to make the pass at center in the neutral zone for Bauer. They'll go to Isak. Isak behind the net, trying to twist and turn around the defense. Holds on. He tried to drop it off to Ritz, but he ran into his body. Isak, however, still controls, but not for much longer. Back come the Pioneers on a 2-on-2. Zile's shots blocked there by Asher Paul Putt. Leone on the wing. Has a few reinforcements behind him. He's got Putt behind his side. And cleared down. Rich trying to get control. He tumbles down today as he ran into the body there of TJ Bayer. And it's a penalty. I was wondering if that's going to be a call. Delayed penalty against the Pioneers. I think it's going to be for interference. So let's wait to see what it officially is for. It is interference. Actually, no, it's a hold. It's a holding call. TJ Bayer in for two. Kutztown trails by one. With 11:16 to go, they have a chance to tie this game up. Again, last game against Sacred Heart, they were down 4-2 to entering the third period. They tied the game at 4, and they won 5-4. So they have been down by 2 entering the third period against these Pioneers before. Let's see if they can do it again and come back. They're down by 1. Let's see what they do on the power play. And admittedly, I can come to think of it, I kind of wish Kutztown had a sponsorship of the power play, kind of like how we have the Flyers. They have the Pico power play, or the Phantoms have the PPL power play. If anything, we should have a Shorty's Bar power play or something like that. Turnover from they score! Edward Jackson, a short-handed goal off the Josh Bauer turnover. He took the puck, he tipped him under his legs, and gets it past the goaltender. Wow, what a momentum shift as the Pioneers are up 4-2. Edward Jackson, his third of the season. And I'm not sure if you just heard that noise on my side. I just hit the chair next to me in frustration. Probably not as frustrated as Josh Bauer is feeling right now, but two mishaps now. We had Tanjuka, who fell earlier unintentionally, and then Bauer on the turnover. It's not like Bauer passed it in front. Jackson just tipped the puck off his stick. It went past his legs. Jackson went in on net and got it past the goaltender, Janney. And Sacred Heart leads 4-2. A shorthanded goal for the Pioneers. This comes back to the slot again. They score! Another goal for the Pioneers! Ryan Walsh rips it blocker's side, and two shorthanded goals now for the Pioneers in 1 minute. A 5-2 lead for the Pioneers. It was looking like a close affair for a good bit in the period, and all of a sudden the Pioneers have taken complete control over the last 60 seconds. Two shorthanded goals, and the night for, actually no, I thought Jay Janney was about to be pulled, but we have a timeout called by Kutztown head coach Raul Batista. Walsh has scored before against Kutztown. He scored against them when the Golden Bears came here last year to give the Pioneers a 1-0 lead, and two shorthanded goals against the Golden Bears. I don't have that. Actually, I should probably have this down on my stat sheet. I'm like, of the number of shorthanded goals they've had against each other, or actually themselves. I'm sorry, I get my words mixed up. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know like how many goals they've had against each other on the shorthanded this year. I think I'm gonna get my words mixed up again. But anyways, pretty sure that's the first time Kutztown has allowed more than one shorthanded goal in a game, let alone two in a minute on the same power play. Jeez Louise. I thought Janney was actually getting pulled there. Not that I'm putting it on him. I just thought when he was coming to the bench, he was getting replaced, but he is not. Serving as the backup goaltender tonight is Caleb Dinsdale. Landon King and Zach Chuchi are here tonight, but they are not dressed. And Sacred Heart leads 5-2, 10 minutes to go in the game. Kutztown is on the power play. Doesn't really seem like it, but they are on the man advantage for the next 42 seconds and counting. The last time the Pioneers scored at least 5 goals in a game against Kutztown was when they beat them 6-0 last season. And the game prior to that, the Pioneers lost to Kutztown 8-5. The last 2 games, Sacred Heart scored 3 goals in a game against Kutztown and 4. A disastrous power play, but a great penalty kill for the Pioneers. Mendham picks this up on the corner, trying to avoid a few defenders. Picked up in front, save made by Janney, denying the wrist shot of Darren Koenig. And while we're at this little break here, I just want to show you guys this little puck I found here. Hockey conference with a cap from, looks like from a graduation. I don't know. I just found this lying around while walking here. I thought someone left it earlier, but it's been here since we got here, and I just picked it up, so just thought I'd share you guys that. That shot, that save by Jenny. He score again! It's 6-2 Pioneers! And the goal horn hasn't even gone off yet. I wonder if they're just delaying it or they're just giving the goal horn a bit of a break, as it's been a goals bonanza for the Pioneers. Jake Callahan, Jake Callahan with the goal. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong name for a second there. Scoring the goal, his first of the season. A 6-2 lead for Sacred Heart. 3 goals, 2 of them shorthanded in the third period alone for the Pioneers. And I know saying this a few times earlier, Kutztown seemed to have some momentum for the first 10 minutes, or at least the first 8 minutes, I should say, of the... I think we have a delayed penalty on Sacred Heart, but then a check is made by Canestra after the whistle, and that's not going to result in anything good, I would imagine. And again, I think Flynn was given a misconduct, so I have not seen him return. I think that's why they didn't have a guy in the penalty box earlier where he was just kicked out, and you don't have anyone serve the penalty box. You just kick him out of the hockey game, or just at least for 10 minutes. And, I apologize. I thought we were having a delayed penalty. Oh, that's right. So, yeah, the linesman had his arm up, not the official. There you go. I'm sorry I've gotten some things mixed up with that. I've been broadcasting for the last few years, but even I make mistakes on calling games once in a while. I was just saying earlier, like, last time the Pioneers scored this many was when they beat Kutztown 6-0 last year. They now have 6 goals in the game. Leo with the rebound shot and denied another great chances there for Kutztown is the goaltender Luke Tenenbaum. He's been robbing the Golden Bears left and right. I know I've been saying that term a lot, but it's true. Tenenbaum has been unbelievable. I don't know how in the Sandhill Nick Leon was unable to capitalize on that chance. Tenenbaum made the initial save off his left pad, and then the rebound was stuffed like a turkey as well by Tenenbaum. He's trying to get his first win of the year, and unless Kutztown can come back down 6-2, he will get that victory. I'll keep my eyes on Kutztown goaltender Jay Janney if the Golden Bears elect to pull him to get an extra attacker. We'll see if they do that, if they even deem it necessary. And I appreciate the updates there for the goaltender Tenenbaum. I know I've been saying he's yet to get his first win. This is the stat sheet I have right now. It's based off the ACHA website, and he has at least 5 to 6 wins. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. The ACHA website doesn't have all the stats updated for Sacred Heart. The ones I got from it is the best I have right now. I mean, I can understand, some teams have all their games uploaded there, some don't. So I just have the stats based on what they gave me here. So I apologize if I got that wrong. So it would not be his first win. Thank you for that. But what stat is accurate is a 6-2 lead for Sacred Heart with 7 minutes to go. Shots to net 37-22 Pioneers. And again, the Golden Bears will have to play again tomorrow night at Downingtown to take on the Forehand Rams. So they'll get short rest, a long trip back, not only for the time they'll have to wait to get back to campus, which is about 3.5 hours, but unless they come back in this game, it's going to be a long trip home in this pretty bad third period. And now it looks like it's about to get worse for them, but perhaps better for Sacred Heart as we have a penalty on the Golden Bears. Looks like it's going to be on Carter Ritz. Ritz goes in for 2. And this game pretty much has completely changed. Ever since the Golden Bears won that power play, the Pioneers with those 2 shorthanded goals, and they've scored 3 unanswered and are up 6-2. Now they're trying to go up by 7. The control there for McDermott. Into the high slot, moves to the left circle, right wing pass across, they score! Hunter McBeam is second of the game, and once again, it looks like the goal horn is done being used tonight. Power play goal for the Pioneers, 7-2, Sacred Heart. This is now the most goals Sacred Heart has scored against Kutztown within the last 3 seasons, as they've scored 7. The most they had before was 6. Now they have 7. Oh, dang it. I accidentally made a reference to that stupid meme that I think it's dying off now, that 6-7 meme. My bad. Did not mean to bring up the cringe. That's just the number. But just trying to get a laugh here as Kutztown has had pretty much a disastrous last 6 minutes on the clock here. And the Pioneers move back. They'll make a centering pass for Wiener. A shot saved. Janney. Actually, it might have been blocked in front. Delazio with a check on the corner. And McDermott will pick it up on the right side. There's a stick that goes flying. He tried to make a centering pass. He was intended there for Sean Pohl. Couldn't connect on the play. Back coming to goal in the Bears is Jansen. Trying to make a pass to McGinty. Couldn't hold on to it. That'll be controlled and back to for Walsh. Swabwinski chasing for it. McDermott got to it first. And it'll be controlled back from the left point. That shot saved there by Janney from the stick there of Botti. Glad you guys are still hanging around here. We got 39 watching here as it's 11 p.m. Not the latest game Kutztown has had. I remember a few years ago we went up to Ithaca to take on the Cornell Big Red. That game started at 10. Still pretty late to watch a hockey game, so thank you guys for tuning in. McGinty, and he's denied there by Tannerbaum. Once again, has been playing very good in this game. Shots in net are now 40-23 Pioneers. And it looks like we have a penalty on Sacred Heart coming up. It's going to be on Ryan Walsh. So Kutztown down by 5. We'll go on the power play with 4:39 to go in the game. Face-off won by the Golden Bears. Isak. Bauer on the left side. Backhands one towards Malkoff. It was blocked by Botti, who clears. Carter Ritz behind his net. Will attempt to skate this one out. Canestra on the wing, trying to give it to McGinty. He could not. McGinty tried to pick it up himself. Couldn't. Isak. Nice move around Botti, or he wasn't too far from him, really. He'll control. Ritz. 1:24 to go on the power play. 4 minutes left. The Sacred Heart leads 7-2. Ritz on the right side to McGinty. Wristing one. That's blocked in front. Falling down there was Isak. He couldn't corral the rebound. And Malkoff tried to get it to the slot, but Ritz was not in the right place. And it's taken away. Another shorthanded chance in on net save made by Jay Janney from Will Hayes. Sacred Heart that close to getting their third sure-handed goal, not only of the game, but of the period. But they have two. Isak. To McGinty, couldn't control. I just want to let you guys know, if you guys are just tuning in just now, even though for the 7-2 score, Kutztown, they had a bit of a lackluster first period with the shots on net. They had a much better second period. They played good in the first half of the third, and it's pretty much fallen apart after. And now we have an altercation involving Chase Canestra and TJ Bayer. They're getting at it in a fight here, and that fight will be broken up by the officials as both players tumble down to the ice. We saw a fight with Griffin Carpenter last week against Delaware, and we saw him get suspended a game as a result. And I wonder if Chase might get a suspension for tomorrow's game against the Forehand Rams, and Chase's night is done. And so is Bayers. They're both ejected. So we'll see if Canestra ends up being suspended for tomorrow's game. I'm willing to bet he is, because, I mean, pretty much the same thing happened last game against Delaware involving Scribner and Carpenter, the two players that fought each other for Delaware and Kutztown last week. Canestra did score earlier. That was a positive at least, but now he is done for the night. 3:10 remains on the clock. And it's still power play for Kutztown for only 31 seconds. And I'm guessing at this point, Kutztown's not going to pull goaltender Jay Jenny for extra attacker. I've seen this before where if they're down by a good margin, they just keep their goaltender in the net. And the official is talking to Captain Bailey Swawinski right now. I think he's discussing about the ejection of Chase Canestra. And they've assessed the penalty for that fight involving Chase Canestra. Serving the minor will be Cutter Ritz. He did not cause the penalty, but he'll serve it. So it'll be 4-4 for 31 seconds, and then it'll be a power play for Sacred Heart for 1:29. And the Pioneers win the faceoff. They'll get a shot off the draw there from McDermott, and it's stopped by Janney. Pretty much again, like once we had those shorthanded goals happen against the Golden Bears, everything is pretty much falling apart in the third period. And honestly, even though this has been one of the more disastrous showcasing for this team in a game this year, I mean, one thing this team has shown me is that there's times where they play well throughout the whole game and they're just not unable to complete a full 60 minutes. I think this game is a good way to put it, although usually in those situations they have not allowed 7 goals or down 7-2 after it was a 3-2 lead on the leading was the opposition. So definitely not a game Kutztown's going to be happy with heading home, but for Sacred Heart, they're definitely going to like this as they're looking to get their 8th win of the season out of this. Shot from the high slot, saved there by Jay Jenny from Colin Birch. Whether you're a fan of Kutztown, Sacred Heart, or neutral, I think you guys are watching this game. And McDermott scores from long range, and the Pioneers go up 8-2. He's got another one, McDermott. .44 shots in net now for the Pioneers. They're up by 6 with 2:10 left to go in the game. As of right now, unless the Pioneers get more goals, this game ties for second for the most goals Kutztown has allowed in a game this season. They also allowed 8 goals in their 8-4 loss to the Columbia Lions. And that was their last game before Christmas break. The most goals they've allowed in a game was a 10-1 loss to Penn State Harrisburg. And that loss to Penn State was the most goals Kutztown allowed in a game in at least 5 years. This one will go up there for one of the worst from the amount of goals they've allowed. And we'll get a whistle with 1:17 left to go in the game. As of right now, it's 11:13. I would think the Golden Bears will probably be ready to hit the road around midnight. And, I mean, in my experience on these road trips, getting home is a lot easier than getting to the games in terms of traffic. So I'm going to guess we'll get back to campus around 2:30, maybe 3 in the morning. They'll have to get a good rest as they'll take on the Fordham Rams again tomorrow in less than 24 hours. But at least they'll have to travel to only Downingtown, a rink only a little less than an hour away from campus. I will not be available to broadcast the game. I'm actually going to go see my Nona tomorrow to celebrate her birthday. We were supposed to celebrate it last week, but the snowstorm changed plans, so I'm going to be occupied with that. I don't think there's going to be a broadcast for the game. I don't know if there's live barn at the campus rink, but if not, I'm sure the team will put out updates. 30 seconds to go in the game. Pioneers control. They kept at it, but they had a good first period against Kutztown. They kept it close in the second. Kutztown was threatening to come back throughout the first half of the third, and then it's been all Sacred Heart ever since they scored 2 shorthanded goals. They've scored 5 unanswered. Time's going to wind down here at Martiri Family Arena. The Golden Bears losing streak extends to 7 games in a row. And that's the end of the hockey game. Pioneers win 8-2. Final shots in net 44-23 Pioneers. Luke Tenebo played very well tonight. He saves the final shots on net. He saves 21 of 23, but he made a lot of great saves from left to right, especially with his leg pads. And so the game ends. Kutztown's season series against the Sacred Heart Pioneers for this year is now 1-1. Their record against Sacred Heart over the last 3 years is now 2-3. I'm Nicholas Garofalo. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Hot Nick's Hockey Broadcast. Whether you're a fan of Kutztown, Sacred Heart, or anyone else, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll have this stream stayed on YouTube, and I'll update it with my video clips of like the period intros, and I'll have the score bug a little later on. I'll probably do that tomorrow or so. But the video that you're seeing right now will stay here on Nick's Hockey Broadcast. Kutztown will be back tomorrow to take on the Fordham Rams at the campus rink in Downingtown, PA. They'll attempt to end their now 7-game losing streak tomorrow against Fordham. I'll be back next week when Kutztown plays the Alvernia Golden Wolves at Bodyzone. That'll be on, let's see here. That'll be on Saturday, February 7th. I can't believe it. February is upon us already. Groundhog's Day is coming up this Monday. We'll see if Puxatawny Phil sees or does not see his shadow. Please give us early spring. This cold weather we've had lately has been unbearable. No pun intended, Golden Bears. Anyways, that's the end of the hockey game. I'm Nicholas Garofalo signing off. Good night. Good hockey.